Dear students, good morning. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 26th August 2020. The first article for discussion is The Marginalization of Justice in Public Discourse. This is a very beautifully written article, lucidly written article. You need to understand what is our hierarchical notion of justice in our caste system, how it has to shift to egalitarian distributive justice, how the concept of equal opportunity, equality before law has come up. These can be understood if you understand this article clearly. First is, what is justice? Justice can be defined as a fair distribution of benefits and burden in a given society. So you need to give the benefits and burden which is due to every person in the society. On what basis you decide what is due to a person is an important aspect of justice. So justice is necessary social virtue and has a great moral value. So this justice and equality are very well connected with each other. In a society where inequalities are high, sense of equality among humans do not exist, or equal dignity do not prevail among the human beings, in those societies justice can never prevail. So upholding justice needs something. So that is a sharing of what we have with the others. So if I share something with my daughter, it is not justice, it is love. So if I share something with a person on the road, it means I have a sense of justice when I am sharing something with others. And second, the governments have to create this sense of justice with regard to the distribution of natural resources. In a society where there is abundance, everyone has everything they need, then there is no sense of justice, there is no scope for sharing. In absolute scarcity, no one is willing to share. There also, justice cannot prevail. So, justice prevails in a society which has some resources and some scarcity. And second most important thing is, if a justice has to prevail, you need to have two things. First is a sense of equality among the beings. If this sense of equality is not there, this is hierarchical notion of justice. Let us take caste system. So a Dalit is what he is due to get is determined by his birth rather than by his ability. So in hierarchical notion of justice, what is there? Where you are born, based on that what is due to you in the society is being determined. Egalitarian sense of justice, it is not like that. You are being treated as a person equal to the others. You have equal dignity with others. In such a case, what is due to you is determined by your merit, ability, capabilities, etc. So that is called egalitarian sense of justice. So when we recognize everyone as equals, that is called basic social justice. Next, what is due for everyone need to be considered on an egalitarian premise. Then burdens and benefits have to be decided. Then it is called distributive justice. The next thing which is spoken is needs and desert. What is principle of need? Every person by being born as a human, he needs to get certain basic needs fulfilled. House, food, etc. It may vary based on the wealth of a given society. So fulfillment of the basic needs of a person is a form of justice. Next, principle of desert. Once the basic needs are being fulfilled, what is due to one need to be decided based on his merit, capabilities and qualities. So today we see Article 14, equal opportunity for all. Why this equal opportunity has come up? We allow all of the students to compete in the exam, but the meritorious student is being picked up in the exam for the civil services. So everyone is given an opportunity, but the best performing person is being picked up and is being given a job. So opportunity is equal, but job is not being given equally for every participant over here. So this is incentivizing the better performance. First, you need to fulfill the basic needs. Once the basic needs are being fulfilled, then you have to keep the race for opportunities. Then merit will be rewarded over and above that. So in this context, after globalization, what is happening in our society? Carefully observe. Inequalities are increasing or not? Economic inequalities, social inequalities, knowledge inequalities, everything are increasing. So, whenever the inequalities are increasing, the very basic premise to treat every person with equal dignity is being lost. In such a case, inequality is a basis for injustice. In any society, inequality is a basis for injustice. That is the point you need to take home. The next article, living with the earth in Kerala. Here, remember this word nature capital or natural capital. So, natural capital means to what extent you are holding the nature intact that determines the future generations holding on to this earth. Every year you are seeing in Kerala one or the other natural disaster. Why this is happening? He says the degrading nature of the nature capital. Today, Idukki landslides or Kozhikode flight accident, all these are due to one or the other curses of the nature. Any development can be sustained or can yield returns in the long term if it is based on the foundation of nature's capital. So, for any development to happen, it has to be on the strong foundation of capital given by the nature. That is the take home point here. Sound and fury. It is about the Congress crisis. A leadership crisis is existing in Congress today, and dilemma is continuing. A grand old party like Congress can reinvent the politics in India by encouraging the internal democracy. How it can start the internal democracy, encouraging the internal democracy? Transparent internal elections for the Congress president can change the contours of the party, contours of the democracy in India altogether. So, Congress has to pave way for this, and all the other political parties can follow the Congress lead. So, Congress has to ensure that the political landscape changes with internal democracy for good. If it fails to provide for that leadership and direction to the political landscape in India, better it vacate and give it to others. That is my opinion. Down but not out. ISIS was defeated by US led forces in Syria and Iraq. Still, its remnants are today seen in Middle East and West Africa. You can see them in Libya and all these countries. Originally, ISIS, how it has come into existence, it is due to statelessness and lack of order. Where it started its journey? It has started its journey as a defected faction of Al Qaeda. And after that, the Syrian state collapse and Iraq invasion by US and collapse of Saddam regime has given them a free way to occupy these territories. And today, still Syria is going through the same crisis. Assad's authority is located surrounding Damascus. In Idlib province, rebels are in position. And if you go to the Kurd provinces, and Turkey is trying to create a buffer zone, Turkey fears that Kurds in Turkey and Kurds in Syria, they can declare themselves as a new country. So that's why Turkey wants to create a buffer region between Syria and Turkey Kurds. And if you come to Iraq, a new prime minister has come up. But an Iran leader or military leader, chief, intelligence chief was killed on Iraq soil by American forces. A kind of proxy war is going on in Iraq between Iran and the United States of America. Still uncertainty is there. This uncertainty is going to breed a new terror outfit. And ISIS slowly expanding its wings. The most worrisome point for India is ISIS presence in Afghanistan today. It is making its roots in Afghanistan. That is what is worrisome. The next article is magnets for manufacturing. So what are the problems in India for manufacturing? How COVID-19 is providing an opportunity for all of us, that we need to see here. First biggest problem to establish a manufacturing sector is land. In India, land is a state subject and there are n number of records which vary from one state to other state. There is no uniformity in land record management in India. Second, we have cheap labor but not the quality labor. Tax structure is not simple and tax rates are very high. And then institutional credit, the capital availability is very low in India, and we expect the foreign direct investments to bring the capital into India. Labor laws though relaxed, always the capitalists want more labor laws to be relaxed. Like that, a slew of problems are there in India. Now COVID-19 is giving us a new crisis, a new opportunity. What is that? Today, Everyone wants to diversify the risks. Tomorrow, another pandemic like this comes up. The dependence on China alone is going to be havoc to the business. And second, political turmoil which is getting created across the world is making the business environment uncertainty in China. That's why many companies are moving to Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, etc. So India has to show its competitiveness to attract them. India has a federal structure, you know that. So states and centers shall come together with regard to land acquisition laws or liberalization of labor laws. States and centers shall constitute some coordination strategy to ensure and to attract the investments which are leaving the China. That is the essence of the article. Rising age of marriage will pose problems. Rising age of marriage for girl children is proposed by Prime Minister Modi on Independence Day. You know that? What is the reason he stated? Nutrition of the mother is important to fight the malnutrition. So age of the marriage is a great determinant of the malnutrition of the mother. So that's why to keep India healthy, we need to raise the age of marriage for women. And he proposes to raise it up to 21 years. But there are certain concerns missed by the government over here. So today, let's take two teenagers if they are in love and they have got sexual advances. This can be projected as projected as violation of the POSCO Act, and the boy can be put in the prison for 20 years. See the difference. If the adults conduct a child marriage, police are very liberal on them and they book the cases on Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. If the young people elope and get married, then people will see that as sexual exploitation of a child by an adult rather than an consensual sex, and ultimately it leads to booking of a case under POSCO Act. So this is already getting misused. So in this case, rising age will undermine the reporting of various child marriages. That is the first thing, which will make these women much vulnerable. And the second thing is misuse of the act can be increased, especially with regard to sexual encounters of the children or sexual activity of adolescents. That is the concern. Coming to the economy side, economy to shrink in second quarter, says RBI report. Why the economy is shrinking? COVID-19 and lockdown has killed the consumer demand. Where it killed the most? In the urban areas. In the rural areas, still the demand is high. Especially with favorable monsoons, the demand is expected to be much high in the agricultural sector. But the consumption is not increasing. The reason is much of the migrant labor have moved from urban areas to rural areas. So number of people dependent on the agriculture have dramatically increased due to COVID-19 crisis, reverse migration of COVID-19. So that's why, though the agricultural output may increase, but it will not create rural demand in the economy. And the second point is, center may consider second stimulus once infections abate. What does this mean? Once the infections are down, then people slowly start gaining confidence in the economy. To give it a push, center is expected to give another stimulus. NGT slams ministry's report on clean air program. So what is that? Article 21 talks about right to life and liberty, yes or no? If you remember a famous Supreme Court judgment, right to clean air is integral to Article 21 of the Constitution. In this case, what is being stated is enforcement of sustainable development as a principle needs strong measures from the government. So, NGT recommends government to effectively implement the Environmental Protection Act 1986. In this scenario, the Ministry of Environment has proposed National Clean Air Program. So this National Clean Air Program proposes 20 to 30% reduction of air pollution by 2024. What NGT says is not 20 to 30%. Bring in stern measures and control the pollution as much as possible. Don't try to limit it to certain percentages. That is what NGT is saying. China floats BRICS 5G base as India mulls ban. You know that India wants to ban 5G imports of Huawei technology from China. What is the reason? Tensions at the border. In this context, China at the BRICS meeting, it has proposed for BRICS innovation base to take forward 5G and artificial intelligence cooperation. So in this case, remember carefully, all the countries other than India are expected to go forward with China. Already Russia, South Africa agreed, Brazil is on the way. Virat to head to Alang ad for dismantling. Previously, we had one aircraft carrier, it is called Vikrant. Next, Virat. I think now Vikramaditya. So, Vikrant and Virat, both of them going for dismantling. What is the biggest graveyard for the ships in the world? That is Alang on Gujarat coast. That is where our Virat ship, our aircraft carrier is also headed to. These are the articles for today. Today, please focus on article on justice. It is beautifully explained. If you get a time, try to read that article in Hindu paper directly. Thank you very much.